Okay, here we are with some blues scale licks that we can use to play in our solo, and the first one sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5 high E, then we're going to play 8 on the B, followed by 5 on the B, 8 G, then we're going to play 7 G, and then I did a little blues bend on 5 G, and then finished off on 7 D. Now when you play any of these licks that I or anyone else shows you, or licks that you learn from a record or whatever, you want to consider the different things that you can do with that lick in terms of, well, one simple way would be, in the lick I played, I made the notes quite short. Almost like a drummer going gat, goom, 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 even though that drummer would have had to have the same tom in the last 4. But anyway, you get what I mean. It's that kind of short percussive sound. Another way that you could approach that lick would be making the notes longer or more what's known as legato sounding. Another thing that you can use is dynamics. Sometimes when you use this flat 5 note, especially if you're playing quite slow, it can kind of poke out maybe sometimes a little bit more than you'd like. And if you find that happening with this lick or any other lick, you can just basically make that note a little bit quieter, or make the lick start loud and go quiet, like this. Or you could just make the flat 5 quiet. Or any variation that you care to come up with. Or you can start it quiet and get loud. Okay, so you get the idea. You can add kind of different flavors to the lick, and then it will take on a new life. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this lick along to the backing track. I'm going to play it a few times, okay? But what I'm going to try and do is each time I'm going to try and change the dynamic, change the length of the note, change the expression so that it doesn't get boring. Because if we just go, it sounds like we don't really know what we're doing. But if we vary it as we go along, make it more intense, less intense, it sounds like we know what we're doing. And, we start to be able to get quite a lot out of one lick. So I'm going to play along, and hopefully I'm going to be able to back up in my playing everything I've just told you. So what you heard me do there was change the dynamics, change the length of the note. And another thing that I did was, I think on one of the occasions when I got to the end of the lick, I left a gap before I played the last note. So the regular way, and then where I played the gap. And you can break this lick up in so many other ways as well. You could play. Okay, so you can experiment with lots of different ways, and that's how you develop good soloing and good playing. Because if you keep trying to move all over the place, what happens is a lot of people feel they have to kind of move everywhere. What you really need to do is be able to take simple pieces of information and manipulate them in such a way that they twist and turn, take on a new life, so that you can really squeeze a lot of information, you know, out of a small lick. Okay, this second lick is going to be very simple. I'm going to use the flat 5 or the E flat, this note, or this one, or this one, as what's known as a grace note. So in other words, if I want to play this D note on 1, okay, so for example 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, so I hit it right on the nail, played it on 1. If I use this flat 5, this blue note, as a grace note, what happens is I play it right before, you know, I hit that D. Now there's various ways that you can do it, but in this particular example, I'm going to slide. Okay, so it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now I'm just going to play a little solo, and I'm going to use these 3 flat 5s as grace notes. And they really sound good. It's like, especially if you repeat them. Okay, so let's have a little play with the backing track, see what comes out. So hopefully what you heard me do there was create a nice, expressive, bluesy sound using that flat 5, you know, the blues note, as a grace note just coming into, you know, other notes. In this case, just sliding up to the E, sliding down to the D, and sliding up to the E. There. Okay, here we are with the third and final lick using the blues scale, and what we're going to do here is simply bend this 7G, okay, the D note, up to the E flat. But what we're going to do is follow it with this 5B, which is an E note, and we're going to use that bend, that flat 5 bend, bending from the D to the E flat, as like a little springboard for some other licks. So there's one example of what you could do. You do that, the bend, play 5 on the B, then a blues bend on 5G, and then finish on 7D. There's another way we do the bend. So it's the bend to 5B, then play 8B, and then bend that up a whole step. And just really try and get some combinations. Okay, so let's play this idea along to the backing track, see what it sounds like. Okay, so let's have a little demonstration of these 3 licks and ideas put together to show you how we can make up a nice solo just using what we've talked about in the last few minutes.